Here we go, another win on my podcasting. We're going to talk about Wall Street's culture war with Gen Z. The whole thought process is that there's always been the kind of way that work has always been the 9 to 5 kind of deal, and you take your days off that you do, and you have drinks at happy hour, you go ahead and do, whatever kind of routines you have. But Gen Z wants to bang to the beat of their own drum. So, Insider makes a point about how tensions are rising over 7 p.m. drinks and midday jogs as Gen Z bankers push back against industry norms like being on call 24/7, and that young people want to see the sun once in a while. Yeah, they don't want to work overly hard and know that they can't get anywhere to enjoy themselves. They don't want to go ahead and work so damn hard where they don't get a chance to enjoy the fruits of their labor. And that they're it's so much work for them to go through. And they feel like all they do is live the work, which is part of what I'm at. The thing is, it's much like the same idea how some women might want to just be adventurous. But I just think Gen Z in general wants to be adventurous. And they want to be able to just say, okay, we don't have to do it like everybody else does. They'd prefer not to. So they talked to a couple of people in this story from Business Insider that I'm reading from, and into the story, and they say that Generation Z is defined as a cohort of young people between the ages of 9 and 24. On Wall Street, they represent the faces of a changing tide. They have new expectations ranging from more freedom in their schedules to more diversity in their ranks to speedier promotions and the ruffling feathers as a result. So they want to change what Wall Street is. And part of the thing is that if you want certain people to go ahead and work in Wall Street or just work in corporate America in some big, office job, and you're dressed in a suit and tie, if anybody thinks you're going to be in that kind of job, they don't want to be in that whole kind of lifestyle. They don't want to live circling around work. They want to have a life outside of work. And they feel like there's a way to do that. Or they just do it on their own. Because obviously we're seeing more young people getting involved into doing whatever content creation or doing other side hustles or projects where they can work from home and they can work remotely. And they don't have to go ahead and do what everybody else has done. And the pandemic also changed that. We know that's what we talk about, the Great Resignation, and as to why that's going on. Most Gen Z analysts and interns are looking to have work-life balance. They're not one to go through the hazing and the boot camp type mentality. Boot camp. Now, BusinessInsider.com, Insider.com actually, they interviewed more than 20 people, a mix of junior and senior investment bankers, finance industry, education pros, and others to better understand what the younger generation of bankers want, and whether they stand any chance of making headway in an industry known to be slow to change. And the demands for Gen Z bankers are simply out of control and need to be reined in. Others say it's a status quo that needs to change, or Wall Street will be left in the dust. Well, if people are able to be successful outside of an office dynamic or office culture, then why not? I mean, I think that's more common than ever. And I think just some people need to realize that's the actual case. What they need to do, if you're having people that are trying to get back to an office, then split the schedule up. Make it where you're doing a couple days a week. Cut it down to 4, 3 days, 2 days if you can. I mean, if you want to still have the offices and a reason to go in, then let it be like that. But the other thing too is that they're also talking about the Gen Z people don't want to be on call at any time. Well, just so you know, I mean, I'm of upper management where I work at in my full-time capacity. I am on call, but I've gotten so good at my job that I know how to control when I want to go and do things and when. And if I want to get myself away for vacation, I could. And I actually was doing really good at that. Only problem was that I had to go ahead and, pandemic happened. So travel hasn't been anything there for me. But, also is because I don't care to plan things out, especially vacations. If I could do things at the last minute and kind of just go impromptu, I don't know if Gen Z really wants to do that, but that's what I would like to do, is be able to just go when I want to go. And I don't care about the office work. I don't care about, being stuck in the environment I'm in. I'd rather just be able to go and work. And that's why I'm always fascinated by these stories. In spite of changes, industry insiders said that pressure continues to bubble underneath the surface. One reason is that some junior bankers seem to want to take their work with them over the holiday breaks. They want greater autonomy over their schedules, more downtime, and occasionally even be able to turn their phones off, privileges that until recently were unheard of in corners of Wall Street like investment banking. Well, if you want these type of people to be on board, then you know what's going to happen. You know there's going to be a case where, this is where crypto and Web 3.0 and having a different way of working digitally, where it's not Web 2.0 and decentralized might be the way to go. And there will be ways to invest in other projects, NFTs, cryptocurrency, that might take away from wanting to go through and do the normal aspect of investment banking and being the smart people to help other people with their money and their investments. Because that's the whole point, is that these investment bankers, they want the right people on board to help persuade. And that's going to be a problem there, is you're going to have to hope that you get some people out there that know how to persuade, know how to market, know how to sell, and are able to go out and do trades. But even the trades people, when you're talking about people that want to do plumbing or they want to do construction or any kind of manual labor, I can also tell you that those people also want to have their own time to do their own stuff. They don't want to be stuck to such a particular schedule. They want to be able to turn their phones off as well. And there's quite a few small business owners out there doing the same thing. I think it's a fascinating story. In the story, they also make mention that people are hesitant to change firm culture based on an increasingly transitory group of young people. It's all going to change, no matter of time. So I think one of the things that's very interesting is that Wall Street is moving themselves down to Palm Beach, where I'm at. So if you're able to get the investment types to go and work at an office in Palm Beach, and they're 5 minutes from the beach, they can basically walk to the beach if they want to, or bike over there, or skateboard, or whatever the hell they want. Find themselves on a Vespa and scoot over. They could do that too. There's a lot of things that can happen like this. Keep an eye on all that's going on. There's a 2019 survey that was released by workplace coaching firm Inside Out, and they said that 3/4 of Gen Z feel they should receive a promotion within their first year of work. Nearly a third that felt that a promotion should come as soon as their first 6 months. You're getting a group of people that they might be pretty smart and very savvy on computers, and they might have learned a lot from other things when it comes to banking and the resources that are given to them, instead of having a particular instinct. So think about it like this, is that, you're going to have to play ball with the next generation of workers. So the other thing, too, they also make mention of in the same study is that, the study from Adobe that was done in August of last year, they said that 56% of Gen Z age respondents are likely to switch jobs within the next year. So the Gen Z crowd, they're willing to switch jobs. They're willing to ask for what they want because they're learning from the mistakes of people like myself that did not ask for the promotions, did not try to push farther. The only thing I would hope for is that they do have some pride in their work. Anyway, I will leave it there, and I will talk to you next time.